Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're doing great. We're continuing our wonderful reading of the Sword of Allah. If you can donate $1 or $2 to the Patreon, that would really help, fam, since they closed everything down in the Bay Area. That would really help. Okay, so let's begin. We're on page 123, which is chapter 11, and it's titled The Gathering Storm. Okay. During the 10th year of the Hijrah, the people of southern and southeastern regions of the Arabian Peninsula had been converted to Islam. Okay, so that's the 10th year, and the southern and southeastern regions of the Arabian Peninsula. The Prophet had sent envoys, teachers, and missions to various places to accomplish this task, and the task had been duly completed, but the majority of the inhabitants of these regions had not become true Muslims, their conversion being more a matter of form than a sincere change of heart. Exactly. You don't want to just have it because of pressure. You want to have it because you really have a conviction. Before this conversion, the Yemen was governed, on behalf of the Persian emperor, by a noble-born Persian named Bazan. Okay, see this? Had no idea that Yemen ever had a Persian emperor. Alright, number one. And his name is Bazan. This man became a Muslim and was confirmed in his appointment as the governor of Yemen by the Prophet. Wow. So how many people knew that? How many people knew that? Not very many. As he was a wise and virtuous officer, the province prospered under his rules, but shortly before the last pilgrimage of the Prophet, Bazan died, and the Prophet appointed Bazan's son, Shahar, as governor at Sana'a. Peace continued to prevail in the Yemen, and no clouds darkened the southern skies. I notice how he says in the Yemen. In Yemen. I don't. He did the Yemen twice, and it kind of threw me off with like my the English grammatical rhythm. But maybe that's how he says it where he's from. Then, at about the time of the Prophet's last pilgrimage, Aswad decided that he would become a prophet. He gathered his tribe, recited some of his verses, claiming that they were verses of the Quran revealed to him, and announced that he was a messenger of Allah. Oh my. What? Sounds like the guy Elijah, the guy Elijah Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, right? He's like, I'm a prophet. Man, there's only one. It's really weird, that type of personality, where people they seek to outdo someone because they're succeeding. Like, I want to be special too. And it's like, man, chill, you're not a prophet. Aswad had a donkey which he had trained to obey certain commands, and he used this donkey to demonstrate his powers. Now, anybody who can get a donkey to behave, I'd be like, wait a minute, because donkeys can be pretty stubborn if they want. They're hard workers. But, man, that's funny. He would give the order, bow before your lord, and the donkey would bow its head before Aswad. He would then command, kneel before your lord, and the donkey would kneel. Poor little guy doesn't want to get hit, man. Hey, if somebody can get an elephant to listen for a little while, a donkey, I mean, come on, is that really impressive? An elephant now, that's, whoa. Because of this, Aswad became known in the region as Zul Himar, the one of the donkey, or Donkey Walla. Some chroniclers, however, maintain that he was known not as Zul Himar, but as Zul Kumar, i.e. the drunk. So a drunk dude who's like, I am a messenger, watch my donkey. No. This could be true because he was heavily addicted to alcohol and often in a drunken stupor. This guy needs to not be a prophet. He needs to be a stand-up comedian. That's what he needs. Nevertheless, his tribe followed him, believing him to be a genuine prophet. And in this era, they were joined by some of the lesser tribes of the Yemen. Again, he did of the Yemen. Just say of Yemen. Aswad organized a column of 700 horsemen and rode to Najran. Okay, so what's he up to? What's gonna happen? He captured the town with no difficulty and drove out its Muslim administrator. Oh no. Elated by this easy victory, he left his own man to govern Najran and moved on Sanaa. So Aswad is like, hey man, I'm gonna come in with 700 horsemen deep. I'm gonna take back Najran. And he took it. And it wasn't difficult. Wow. I thought it would be more difficult, but let's see why it wasn't. Shahar, the newly appointed Muslim governor of Yemen, heard of the fall of Najran, came to know of the intentions of Aswad, and decided to tackle Aswad before he could reach Sana'a. Organizing a small armed force, he did not have many warriors. Okay, so... There's two Aswads here. Aswad before he could reach... He marched out to meet his adversary, and the two forces met some distance north of Sana'a. The short, brisk engagement that followed ended in Aswad's favor. The Muslims suffered a defeat at Shahar, and Muslims suffered a defeat, and Shahar was killed in battle. Leaving behind a beautiful young widow named Azad. Okay, so his wife's gonna have to deal with that. 5 days later, Aswad entered Sana'a as a conqueror. Whew, there is a lot of conquering going on in that part of the world at this time, man. And I thought I had it hard. He had worked fast for his unholy mission, for it was now only 25 days since he had first gathered his tribe and proclaimed his prophethood. 25 days! Most of Yemen was now his. Wow. So the dude took a lot of territory then. In order to get the maximum pleasure from his military and political success, Aswad forcibly married the lovely Azad. Oh, so he forced married her. That's terrible. Poor her. I mean, geez, she loses her husband, has to marry some weirdo. The poor widow had no choice but to submit to the drunken embraces of the loathsome donkey Wala. Oh, man. Having occupied Najran and Sana'a, Aswad consolidated his gains and extended his sway over all Yemen, many tribes of which acknowledged him as ruler and prophet. What? Did they really fall for that donkey trick? As his authority grew, he began to feel discontented with the title of prophet and proclaimed himself Rahman of Yemen. And there's a footnote here, Rahman, the ruler. Rahman, that's a title for Allah, isn't it? Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So he's calling himself like something really bold then, right? The word Rahman means the merciful one. There we go. And is one of the titles by which the Muslims know God. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I was on the right track. I'm glad I remember that. We say it in the prayers. Thus, Aswad attempted to enter the divine province to which no man has laid claim without suffering disastrous consequences. I mean, he's got like no shame, like zero shame, not even afraid to be like, I'm gonna call myself Rahman and think that my donkey tricks are somehow divine miracles. Anyway, to his followers, he became known as the Rahman of Yemen. Man, he got a couple of victories, right? He took back, Sana'a, came in as a conqueror, forces a beautiful woman to become his wife. I mean, jeez. His drunken orgies continued, as did his enjoyment of the ill-starred Azad, whose loathing for him grew so intense that she confided to a friend, "To me no man is more hateful than he." Oh, interesting. Yeah, she's very resentful. In his viciousness, Aswad also turned against the family of the Persian Bazan, and heaped every manner of indignity and insult upon the surviving members. So he's just kind of seems like a saucy, boastful, just like you can kind of feel like gross. Like maybe in English there's the word jackass. That's what they call a donkey, a very stubborn donkey. So he's acting like a literal jackass. By doing so, he earned the bitter hostility of a stalwart and true Muslim by the name of Feroz al-Delami, a member of the Persian family and cousin of Azad. Wow, there's a lot of family members. There's interrelated webs of tribal bloodlines. And his name is spelled Feroz, Al, and then the next word Deilami. Froz Delami. That sounds like Italian almost, like a Mediterranean-ish, doesn't it? So if you loathe somebody, can we call them Donkey Walla? Like, can that be like a meme? You know, like maybe I'll call everyone on the channel who makes me mad Donkey Walla.